Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and I'm your host Jagjyot Kaur. Today we have with us Pushpinderjeet Kaur for our alumni spotlight interview, and she graduated from Centennial in 2022, and currently she is working as a quality assurance specialist at Giraffe Foods. Hi Pushpinderjeet, how are you doing today?
Hi, Jagjyot. I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Thank you
good.
for having me here.
Of course, we're grateful to have you, ma'am. So you graduated very recently. And I think
Yeah.
that is one reason I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to this because you've recently been through the process of job postings, like searching, going for jobs, searching for jobs, and you know what the employers are looking for, maybe a very recent experience, what the employers are looking for, what they want from the employees. So give us an idea of how your journey has been since you graduated, how life has been in terms of like work wise.
Right. So Jagjyot, I would like to make a small correction. So right now I'm working as R&D technician. I know I
Mhm.
might not have updated my LinkedIn profile yet, but I have started on April 17 for the R&D position, but in the
Mhm.
same company. So, all right, I would start with, I would say when I was here as an international student, I started my work in Walmart. Before that, I was doing some odd jobs and something. And so working anywhere helps you. So Walmart has been an asset. Working there has had the security for a while that I was there. And then I got a job at Tilly. So I was a warehouse person. So Tilly is a hat company, and I was a warehouse person there. So in the manager who was there for me, and he saw that I was active in terms of doing something on the digital work, the computer things. I was good at that. So he referred me to a office position in that company. So I was working as inventory sourcing associate. Uh, and that was mostly learning on Excel and doing the emails and stuff. So that helped me a lot as well.
Mhm.
That was it was all happening during my final semester or one semester before the final semester. And in the final semester, so we had that course of professional learning.
Practice.
So
Yeah.
we have yeah,
Hmm.
and Professor Yvonne teaches us that. So
Hmm.
that was like something very helpful to me. And during that time, I was introduced to BIOS Club, and I think I, along with Taman, so we were the pioneers in
Really?
restarting the club again. Yes, so
Wow.
I was one of the executive members, and
Hmm.
we got the chance. So it was only the last semester, so we got the chance to arrange for one debate competition. I'm not sure if you know about it because it was mostly among the last semester, or I mean the students of the same semesters or maybe previous semester. So yeah, that was something that was really fun, and then I got experience, how to like talk to people and judges. So I had heading the part where we would communicate with judges
Hmm.
and the students. So during that time, so we Professor Yvonne, so I came to know her better. And so she once I remember, so there was this visit thing. So you know how she is very active in terms of asking
Yes.
students to come visit
True.
different
Hmm.
places. So we went to visit Giraffe Foods. I was part of that. So even though I was in biotechnology, I was studying biotechnology, and um, visits are mostly for like because it's a food company, so it would be for a food graduate, a food technology graduate. But then because we were in the bios club, so she gave us the chance as well. So she said if you guys want to come in, and then we did go. And it was really nice. I was impressed by how the company was really, in terms of teaching, in terms of the people who was working there, who they were mostly young people. And I was like, okay, they are ready to accept the new talent. And it was very in agility, like, bringing up challenges and working on that. So that was really interesting to me. And then after maybe a few months or maybe 1 or 2 months, so she said that there is a co-op student posting if you guys want to apply. And that was my last semester. So it wouldn't be a co-op for me exactly, but of course, like if there is an opportunity to enter the field, I would definitely take it. So we had to get an interview. So I So I sent my resume through Yvonne, and then the interview process went well, and they selected me for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I think, that was the beginning of my career in terms of in food. But working at other places has helped me as well in terms of how to look for a job, because you know how when we come here, we want to work because we
I
need
know.
to pay our fees and we don't want to
Exactly.
depend on our parents. So that
Mm-hmm.
search as well. But then I would say connections to Yvonne, to Professor Yvonne, and then having the chance to visit there and knowing so I already knew the vice president in there. So I was able to write in my cover letter. I was able to write more about the company than a person who hadn't visited there. So that helped
Mm-hmm.
me a lot. So yeah, I mean, yeah, then like I had that co-op position and I
Mm-hmm.
went in, and so I had the talk with my manager, like, why did you choose me? Or he himself talked about it. So he
Mm-hmm.
said, they could bring anybody in and then teach them everything from the beginning, because every company has a different procedure, different, lab techniques. So what they want to see in an interview is
We lost you again.
just a moment. I'm so sorry.
I think even without the earphone, AirPods, we can clearly hear you.
Okay,
So
I
I
would
think,
do that
yeah,
without that. I'm
yes.
so sorry.
Oh, no problem, ma'am. No problem.
All right. I
So I think
think
you should start from the part where you said even if you're new, you can start. They can teach you. I think that's a one point that I want the audience to know as well.
I
Yeah.
All right. So when I got that interview and I got the job, of course, and I went in and I had the chance to talk to my manager about
Mm-hmm.
why was I chosen or something along the lines. And then he said, they would have chosen anybody and then would have teach them everything that they were doing it there.
Mm-hmm.
And so choosing a person from an interview was the thing that okay, I'm so sorry. I really I would have wanted if my phone was staying at a place. I am holding
Okay.
it. So
No
sorry.
problem. No problem. No problem. Please just relax. I'm really.
Can you
We
hear me?
lost you again. No, we're losing you again. And
Yeah,
go comes and goes, comes
so
and
I
goes.
have a setup here that helps me get my phone at one place, and that's what's happening. And I don't know why my AirPods are not working. So
Wait, are the apples in the case?
one of them is because that one.
Because otherwise it would get connected again and again, and your phone might get connected to it again. And you could try switching off your Bluetooth so it doesn't get connect to your iPod again. Because if it does that, we might like lose you again
Oh,
in between.
okay.
Yeah,
I have it off now.
yeah, I
Okay.
think that is. Yeah.
And can you hear me now? Is my
Yes.
voice? Yeah.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, I would request you to go back to the
Um,
that point. Yeah. Oh,
into
we lost you again.
all right. So okay. Oh, you lost me again. Boy. I what can I do so that it doesn't happen again? Hmm. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's stay here. I won't touch. All right. So yeah. Okay. So while in an interview, so I was talking about my manager and asking
Mhm.
him why did he choose me. So he said they would have teach anybody about the lab procedures and about the lab work that they do, because it depends on different companies. They have different protocols.
Mhm.
But choosing a person was more about what you have to offer as a person in terms of what skills do you have. I am not talking about the lab skills or technical skills, but in terms of leadership qualities, or maybe communication, how
Mhm.
things are for you. And then while in an interview you are actually communicating, so they can see how confident you are. How do they ask the conditional questions, and they
Mhm.
actually what is your mindset. So don't just so if you see an interview, I know everybody goes to YouTube and they try to see, okay, what can be a good answer, but do not
Mhm.
copy.
okay, everybody faces challenges in their life and they find ideas to overcome that, so use that. um, so for example, for me, when they asked, okay, how do you what was a mistake that you did and how did you overcome it, so instead of saying no, I did not make any mistake, which would be wrong, I did. So I did them. Like in my previous job, I used to do shipping, and one day I went on lunch and the guy who was supposed to take the shipping, he came in, and I was on lunch and I did not tell anybody to help with that. So like, then after that I started making notes so that I don't forget that. So that was my solution. And then he could see that I have a problem, then I find a good solution, and then I use it. And then I said I did that mistake again. So some like that. So just be more active in terms of showing who you are, instead of showing, okay, I know how to calibrate stuff, I know how to do lab stuff. But another thing I would add here is, if you know Excel and if you have worked with Excel, that would be an S. Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Yes. So that would be something that you would want to know about an interview. Yes.
So because you were a biotechnology student and you were working in a food technology, was this transition, you think, difficult for you comparatively to students who are in food technology courses right now?
So I would say no, because at that point of time I didn't know what they were teaching in food technology, that I would. So while, as I said, like my manager said, they would teach me everything, and they did.
Yeah.
So then that needed was, just a basic knowledge, just to the pH, what is a buffer, and how do you calibrate a pH meter, and they would teach you the first time. They would teach you how to do the basic things. So you don't need anything that you don't have in biotechnology or you have in food technology. But I would add that recently we have another co-op student from Centennial, which is a success thing. She's from food technology. So in there, going to like Giraffe Foods, I was able to develop a sensory method, and I hadn't studied about it at all. So I developed it in terms of, so they had a basic sensory method, but I wanted to enhance it. So I made it into like more people coming in, and then good data that was needed. So I developed a protocol for that. And then when I saw like the new co-op student, so she had some knowledge about the sensory methods. I think that's something in food science and not in biotechnology. But I would say that didn't stop me from making my own. So if I didn't know, so I was able to develop something from the beginning. But yeah, I think being in food science would help, but then being in biotechnology doesn't hinder anything.
Also, I see that you have a non-Canadian experience. You worked at Verka, which is a dairy
Yeah,
company back in
right.
Punjab. Yes. So do you think that put you in advantage here for looking for jobs?
I would say it would be something for your resume, yes. But not in terms of, going in the lab and, because so here, some of the things, the appliances or the equipment, sorry, that we used back in, for example, for titration. So they are advanced here. So the good thing is that you know the procedure, but then you don't need it. So it won't be helpful in terms of doing the lab stuff, but then yes, it will be helpful in your resume. And do go, if you have the chance to, work in any company in India, then that would be helpful for your resume. Yes.
Okay. Also, any certification that you think employers are looking for and students should go for, invest their time while they are studying so that that will help them secure a job in the future?
No, do not go for any certifications or trainings. If it's free, go for it. If you have to pay, do not, because no employee, because okay, you are a student, you want to do an entry level job, and they are not looking for any certifications. And so what they are looking for is a bit of your experience in working in the lab. Even if it's they would see, okay, what you have done in your lab in college. They won't, okay, do you have a HACCP certification? No, they don't need that. So in my company like right now, so in QA, in the QC department. So right now they are so training their employees for HACCP by themselves. So they are paying for it, and you don't have to pay for it. So do not go for those certifications. But if you have anything that's for free and it's 2 day or something seminar or something, go for it and put it in maybe. Um, yeah, but then I would add here that if you can do any training program in Excel, that would do wonders for you. Trust me.
Okay.
You would need. Yes.
How was your job searching experience after college, and what job portals were really good? Like you would actually find good jobs over there.
Well, I would say LinkedIn was the best. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have good connections on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
and some companies, so follow company pages. As so, we in the professional, I think the course that we have with the Yvonne, so we get a list of companies that
Okay.
we in whole of Canada, and then you can go on each and follow their pages, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can the HR there, and that would help a lot. So if you know the HR, and then they keep posting, okay, they are looking for a quality assurance technician, they are looking for R&D person, they are looking for regulatory person. So I think that would be something that of help. And then there is Indeed. Indeed was helpful as well, because in after my co-op, I was thinking, okay, maybe I should apply for other jobs outside, because so they in Giraffe Foods they didn't have any position at that point. So I used Indeed and maybe Glassdoor as well to apply to outer companies, and then I did get interviews, but then I even got a job offer. But then I thought that if I could get something else in, because I loved the company that I had been working, and I already had an experience of maybe 4 months, so I wanted to stay. And then they wanted to keep me as well, so they offered me another co-op position, which I think for 3 months it was in regulatory.
Mm-hmm.
So chance to work in another department related to my field, and I didn't want to lose it. So that was very helpful. So regulatory, like you would do so the documentation, the Canadian rules and regulations about food
Mm-hmm.
label, so those kind of things, and that was really helpful as well.
So it's not like lab skills. It's usually just
No,
the
yeah,
documentation. Mm-hmm.
there you need to know the Excel a lot. So and
Mm-hmm.
then you would go to government websites, and then you would search for, okay, but why is something an allergen? How do you name a sauce? So if there is a natural flavor, how would you name it? If there is an artificial flavor, how would you name it? What can you declare? So it's more about the rules and regulations that government has, so that if you are releasing a product and then nobody is coming back to you, okay, saying you have wrong declarations and you cannot use that or release that. So those kind of things, that's what regulatory is for.
Mm-hmm. So like you said, you were a co-op student, am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
So do you think your journey to enter the field was easier than when compared to students who did not have co-op?
um so I would say yes and then no. So
Mm-hmm.
I have friends
Mm-hmm.
who did not have any co-op experience, but they were active on LinkedIn, for example. And so, if, for example, I would tell a story of one of my friends. So what he did is he saw that somebody posted for a job, and they said, okay, a certain HR is looking for this person, a position.
Mm-hmm.
And then he talked to that person, and he said that I'm interested in it. And then he got that interview just because he saw that posting through maybe some connection, right? And then he
Mm-hmm.
applied, and then he got the job, and then he didn't have any experience, so he did not have any co-op. But since I had the co-op, and so I got the job in the same company.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say what helped me is, to have a strong foot in the same company, and then I'm saying, okay, if there is a position, of course they will consider me. But it's not like if you don't have a co-op, then you won't get a job. Apply for it. There are jobs. Will get it.
So I think from this conversation, what I get is be active on LinkedIn. You have a co-op, you don't have a co-op, be active on LinkedIn. That's your part to make do networking and make connections. Am
Yes.
I right?
But I would add here that just following people on LinkedIn doesn't help. You
Mm-hmm.
have So, you can make a template of, okay, telling HRs from different companies, or maybe, for example, food managers.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so my colleague who's working in Giraffe Foods, she got that job. So she was in India. She came here as a PR, but then for 2 years, didn't find any job in food. She
Mm-hmm.
was a master's in food technology, and she
Okay.
wasn't any job. But then she connected to my manager on over LinkedIn, and then they were talking over for 1 year about, okay, he was always asking her for her progress, and once a job opened in that company, he asked her to apply, and then she applied, she got the job. So
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of jobs that people are getting this way by LinkedIn, by making connections, but not just superficial connections. You're just sending requests and saying, okay, you follow me, I follow you. That doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Be active, and if you see somebody posting anything, go for it, and like check there. And there are job portals in there, like you can see in on LinkedIn, it says jobs, and then go in here, look for the HR. If you
Mm-hmm.
find any the HR email, then email them with your cover letter and your resume. Cover letter helps. So I think I've seen students who would just, they are like, okay, I know it's hard to apply for, keep applying for jobs, um but maybe choose one a day, or maybe choose one a week. So start, okay, so I saw that there was a question how early one should start. I would
Yes.
say at 2 months before, because getting a job, and if you don't have a co-op, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe it takes 2 or 3 months, and then
Mm-hmm.
just time, start making connections, and every week apply for one job, but apply it in a way that your resume is perfect, your cover letter is perfect, and ask for help. If you have seniors, you have people who are working around, then ask for help in terms of checking. Maybe they can check your resume for you, they can check your cover letter, they can help you what you should not include, what you should include. So just be prepared to apply, and do not be scared. Okay, it's too much to do, I don't want to do that. It's better if I just keep working where I'm working. So that was what I was thinking, before this co-op thing. I was working at Tilly as a sourcing assistant, so it was an office job. And I was like, I'm okay. I don't, because I was actually scared to go out and see
Mm-hmm.
what kind of market is there. So I was like, okay, I'm just fine. I don't need to apply for my field jobs. But then I was in Bios Club and I got this chance. And I was like, no, if I can get this thing, anybody can get the job. So don't be scared. Just apply for it, and like uh, give some time to it. Do not get impatient.
Mm-hmm. So patience is the key, I guess. Consistency and patience.
Yes, definite. Consistency is very important. Just keep applying. Do not lose hope. And
Mm-hmm.
as you for interviews, prepare well. Just
Mm-hmm.
just be natural. You don't have to be like at your best or something. Just be natural, and then show them if there is something that you don't have, you're ready to work on that.
Okay, so my follow-up question regarding reaching out to HR is how much information should one put in when messaging HRs? Like just the whole thing, I've worked here, worked there, I'm this and that, I've done this and that. Or like should we start with a conversation or directly just send, this is me and done this. Do you have a job for me? Like, what do you think is the right way?
Well, I would say first see that if they have a job opening, and
Mm-hmm.
so they are looking for a QA technician, for example, and then you message the HR, and then you say, okay, I have the relevant experience, and maybe you can quote one or two companies that you have worked in, maybe in India, maybe here, maybe the lab program you in college, right? And talk about it and say that I have great work ethics. They're looking for people with good work ethics. Like, you won't be leaving the company right away. You got the job and then you're like, okay, bye.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for good work ethics and good communication skills. So just maybe talk about one or two things. You don't have to write a whole essay. Just be genuine and just say, I have experience in this thing and I have these skills. I think I am a really good fit for this position. And then, yeah, maybe that's it. And then maybe you can ask, okay, if you could share your email, like for further communication. I am
Mm-hmm.
in. So just that way.
Okay, my last question to you would be any advice that you have for the graduates?
Um, well, like I said, don't be scared. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's a scary thing to, you're a student, a fresh student, and you have no experience in professional world, but then suddenly you are left open and without any guidance. Just stay connected with your professors, like go back to them. For example, Yvonne is very helpful, so if you see that she's posting something, and maybe go back to her and ask, okay, I have experience in this, is there anything that I could do to work in that? Then go back to your professors, of course, and then be active on LinkedIn, and start this process maybe 2 or 3 months before you graduate, so you are not stressed all the time. Once you are you feel like, okay, now I
There's
have
a
to.
clock ticking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
before, so you don't have that nervous and stress in you. But
Mm-hmm.
even if you have passed that stage, it's okay. Just take your time, be slow. And I'm telling you, most of the people that I knew from my graduation time, and then from my college, they all have jobs and in the field. So I have examples, like I have seen people who were, I mean, I am an example, okay. I was scared out and apply for stuff, but then I did. And then even after the co-op position, I did apply for example, Gailey. I applied for other positions, but I didn't have to get that job. But yes, apply for things, then you will get job. So just yeah, be active, don't be scared,
Yeah,
don't
keep
worry.
applying. You will
Yeah.
end up with what you want.
Yes.
That's
And
a very positive note, I guess, for the students. Yeah.
yeah, so because I have been there, I know what it feels to be a student and not having a job. So it's okay. You will get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's a very positive and positive note to end at. So thank you so much, Pushpinder, for today. I'm
You're
sure
most
students, your experiences will help students to do what maybe you didn't do or maybe they should do. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much.
you're most welcome. It was really nice talking to you.
Same here. Thank you guys. We'll be back with more such interviews, and we'll invite more alumni for you to know about their experience and learn from them. I hope to see you again. Bye.